just as a quick review, some states, New York notably at the front of the pack here, refused to open until they had a proper test and trace program in place. I was saying all along that the tracing, first of all, testing is not like a cure. It's spoken of as if all we have to do is test enough. All you do figure out when you're testing at the level of massive community spread is having a better sense of how many cases are out there. And you're still missing 80%, 90% of the actual cases out there. So testing is not a cure. Tracing is a joke when you're at this level of community spread. A joke. It's absurd. But you know what they're going to start to do? Now they're going to make the suggestion of quarantine mandatory. New Zealand has already done this. I mean, they'll keep you effectively locked in a hotel for 2 weeks when you arrive now. And some of these other states that we see as, aren't these great models of fighting COVID-19? Yeah, if you want to live in an authoritarian regime where there's no oversight to the decisions they're making, often based in pseudoscience, yeah, then it's great. So you have a Kentucky couple, Elizabeth Linscott. She and her husband and their very cute little baby, they wanted to go visit Linscott's parents in Michigan. So as a precaution, she was tested for COVID-19. Turns out her COVID-19 test came back positive. She had no symptoms and had no idea, but she has COVID-19 right now. Okay. So she was told by the Hardin County Health Department that she needed to sign paperwork and agree to call the health department anytime she leaves her home. She said she was willing to quarantine, but she had concerns about signing something like this that was clearly worded in a way that seems like it's a massive infringement on her actual rights. And so she left and did not sign this. You know what happened? Law enforcement officers sent to her door. It's a young mother. She and her husband, that must have been quite a shock to them. They're in Kentucky. This is a red state, folks. Law enforcement officers sent to her door to tell her that she has to wear an ankle monitor, as does her husband, and that they have to get permission before they can go more than 200 feet from their house. This is house arrest. Okay? They are being put on house arrest like parolees, like somebody who's a sex offender who has to wear an ankle monitor. I mean, they're being told, stay in your home, put on this electronic monitoring device, or else men with guns who work for the state will show up and tell you have to do that. This was inevitable, my friends. The mentality of the lockdown libs and the left, this was going to happen. The do this, do your part, we're all in this together. When people don't do what the left says, when the Democrats don't get their way, their next move is or else. And now we're seeing what the else is. And there are Republicans who are going along with it too. They're all so scared. They won't tell people that even if the vaccines, I know I've seen some promising things about vaccines. Even if the vaccines work, it's likely to be a situation where you might have limited immunity for a period of time. It'll be like the flu, meaning that you have to get a vaccine every year for it to be effective for that flu season. That's a distinct possibility. There's a very real chance we're going to be living with this thing for a long time. And yet, you know what we're told? If only we wore masks, there wouldn't be an issue. That's what they've fallen back on now. They have nothing else they're going to say. Because remember, when we were first being forced into this, they told us if we just social distance and lockdown, then we'll learn to deal with this, and we're not going to destroy our whole society over fighting against this virus. The cure cannot be worse than disease. That was the phrase. Now it's, no, we're going to have to stay like this. Your freedoms are subject to the whims of government bureaucrats without exception. They can now show up and lock you in your home. If they can lock you in your home for a positive COVID test, why do you think they can't lock you in your home and make you wear an ankle monitor on suspicion of having COVID? Sure, you had a test, but we think that you have it anyway. Prove to us that you don't. Anybody who wants to say, oh, this is absurd, what we're seeing right now is absurd. What they're doing to people in violation of not just their constitutional, their most basic rights. We're reaching a point, I don't even give a crap what the law says about this stuff. The government can't tell people you can't leave your home because we're so scared. That's not how a free society functions.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.